And even Dorsey Schroeder, the commentator, said he should take a look at the video himself before he talks.
I saw that. So, that was interesting.
Yeah.
What is Scott Russell feeling right now?
Well, I mean, you know, Scott, he just was sitting there seething, while Paul was in the race, struggling around in the last third of the race because the suspension was bent. We had a lot of towing in the rear end. And Scott said, "I've had it." And he walked down there to pay Mr. Christodoulou a visit. And Scott's got some pretty big pipes for arms. And of course, the two biggest guys on the team were standing in front of Christodoulou, a couple of mechanics, and so it would have made for some good TV, but cooler heads prevailed. But like I said, the guy, he could put the whole deal to bed by apologizing, but apparently he's on the offensive. So it's past the coincidence stage now. So tune in 2 weeks when we'll be at Watkins Glen. See what happens.
Right. Now, do you feel you're getting a fair shake from race officials at Grand Am? Because, quite frankly, it seems as though Christodoulou serves a drive-through penalty and is right back in the race with little or no ill effects, whereas your penalty always seems to be more severe in that you actually lose track position and contention for the win.
Well, those guys, the Mazda guys have a strong team, and they've got a good car, good power, good weight, and all that sort of stuff. And it's very frustrating when we can't fight for the win and Christodoulou comes back and finishes second. And racing's not always fair, and even if he would have taken us out of the race and parked us, he probably would have still finished second, and that's just the way racing goes. I mean, he probably didn't mean to do it, but in any case, it was negligent. It happened, and it's getting ridiculous now. So, but like I said, racing's not always fair, and it's a tough game.
Right. Now, have you spoken to anyone in regards to this most recent run-in? The Grand Am officials. You said you hadn't spoken to Adam. How about anybody at SpeedSource this week?
No, I haven't. I'm not going to try and stir the pot too much here, but they got to get a grip on this thing, and I got to have some assurances it's not going to happen anymore. Because, I'll probably call Sylvain and Sylvain Tremblay, the team principal, and one of the drivers over there. In fact, he won last week. And, congrats to him. But yeah, we'll get it sorted out. We always do.
Good. Now, looking from the outside in, it appears as though all three Corvette teams are certainly not given the respect that other race teams are getting out there on the track. LG Motorsports has their nemesis, much like you do, in the Turner BMW team, and they always seem to lose the battle as well. Marsh Racing and the 31-wheeling Corvette, they really haven't been able to complete a race yet, but it just seems as though the Corvettes are having the most issues. Do you think maybe that all three teams need to be more aggressive or stronger, or what's your solution to the problem?
Well, racing's a tough game, and the Grand Am officials try to create parity. I mean, we're racing apples against oranges, against potatoes, and so you have, the Mazda, which is a very lightweight car, and they say they make less power, but I'm a little skeptical of that. They're doing a great job this year, and the rules are in their favor. They've actually been slowed down with this attempt to get parity between all the cars. They've had 75 pounds added to them, and yet they're still super competitive. We had 50 pounds added to us at the beginning of the year, and then Grand Am rescinded that and took it back off. So they're always making these little adjustments, what they call competition adjustments. And one of the problems is we've got the speed right now, and but the problem is in a real long run, like when we go 50 laps, which is basically 150 miles, on a tank of fuel. I mean, every corner, you're skidding around. It's way more intense than autocross because our speeds are so huge. 150, 60, 70 miles an hour. That our fuel load, 22 gallons, lasts about 55 minutes or so, and our tires are lasting about 45 minutes. So at one point we have to slow down. We'll get forced to slow down with tire wear. Otherwise the driver will go off the track and crash, or we have to pace, you know, and the problem is the Mazdas can hold pace longer than we can. So, I mean, we're competitive, but right now, you know, I'd like to get another 75 pounds off our car, or see Grand Am add 75 pounds to the Mazdas to create better parity. And, you know, unlike NASCAR, you know, great series, but they're all racing 358 cubic inch V8s. Whereas here, you know, we've got the Corvette motors. We can run an LS6 or an LS2. You know, we're racing against Porsches with a horizontally opposed, super sophisticated flat six. We're racing against 3-rotor Mazdas. So the way the sanctioning body, Grand Am, balances out the cars is with weight and tire size and you know, intake restrictors and stuff like that, and they don't have it quite right in our opinion. You know, I mean, the Camaro has the same driveline and engine as we do, and they're actually 25 pounds lighter than us, but we're a little slipperier aerodynamically. And the problem is both of our cars, the Camaro and the Corvettes and Gelati's Corvette and Sonny Whelan's and all that, we know we all fall off at about 45 minutes. You know, we start slowing down and we're blistering our rear tires and stuff like that. So, what do you think you need to do to correct that, or to you know, offset that? We'd like to get some weight off, or we'd like to get some weight on the Mazda, you know. And so we're always lobbying in this direction, you know. And as far as the Corvettes, I mean, we talked about us and Gelati and Sonny Whelan's team with Eric Kern and Boris said. I mean, those are both great teams. You know, they're kind of newcomers to the series, and there's a lot to learn to get under your belt. It's really, really hard to keep a car fast for 3 hours. I mean, and you know, not just fast against the clock, but compared to all the other 20 other cars you're racing out there, or 30. You know, everybody's got the same idea, and whoever has nothing go wrong, plus has a fast car, is going to win the race. Right.
Now, you're currently 10th in the chase. How has the Christodoulou issue affected your spot in the standings, and where do you think you would be had all 3 run-ins not occurred?
Well, I think we had, you know, at Barber, we recovered from his deal and didn't get really any damage to the car, but it still counts as hitting us. That was down in Alabama, and we later had the lead. We were, unfortunately, we got hit by another car at Max Angelelli in a Daytona prototype, but that was a probable win. And then, you know, at Mid-Ohio, well, that was our fault at Mid-Ohio, I guess, but what's the other one? New York. It's hard to say. I mean, you know, we were in contention for the win, and you know, things were going our way, and then bang, that happened. So, you know, we've had a rough year this year. I mean, we had to put some guys in the car for Daytona to help us finance the race, and they weren't quite the caliber of drivers of our drivers, our full-time drivers, and we had some issues there. So I mean, it was everything we could do to get our Corvette out and get it to Daytona. And you know, it's been a rough year, especially after you know, 2 years ago in 2008 we won the Grand Am GT Championship. You know, we were running Pontiacs at the time, and we were getting a lot of support from General Motors and Pratt Miller Engineering, the company that built the cars, and you guys all know about those guys with the yellow ALMS Corvettes. And so we were a sister team to those guys, and shared drivers, and Jan Vegas and Johnny O'Connell, Andy Pilgrim, all those guys. It's great. So you know, it's just the new reality of 2010. It's just going to be a tough year for us, but we're just kind of hanging out, and we're hoping for bigger and better things next year. You know, just come back stronger and lick our wounds. You know, not every year can be a good year racing.
When looking at the overall results for the season so far, at about the 3/4 mark, with 4 races to go, you have 5 top 10 finishes and 1 podium.